Hello again on day 3, where we're just going to flesh out the scriptures during the week that we weren't able to go into depth on Sunday mornings. Today I want to look at these living creatures in Revelation chapter 4. They're the cherubim that are actually, we find out that they are around the throne of God. We have a picture of these cherubim often throughout the scriptures. They are a kind of living creature, an angelic being. We even realize that we have that the story that Satan was an anointed cherub, a great being created by God who rose up in pride and he fell away. So as we're looking at these beings, let me read real quick in Revelation chapter 4 what it says. In the center and around the throne, 4 living creatures full of eyes in front and behind. First living creature was like a lion, the second creature like a calf, the third creature had the face of a man, and the fourth creature was like a flying eagle. And the 4 living creatures, each one of them having 6 wings, are full of eyes around and within. So these are the strangest beings that we could ever imagine. And imagine these 6-winged beings, one having the face of a lion, one the face of a calf or an ox, we find out in Ezekiel, one having the face of a man and one having the face of an eagle. They're covered with eyes. Why? It shows that they know so much of everything that's going on around them. These are the very same beings when Adam sinned and fell and was kicked out of the Garden of Eden, that God put cherubs on the way to the Garden of Eden to protect it. Isn't that interesting right there? Because we find out that these cherubs in heaven protect the throne of God from any wickedness or evil or darkness that would want to come against it. Of course, we know that God created those beings. He's doing it himself, but through these beings. He also used cherubim to protect the Garden of Eden. And they were protecting that so that no one could go to the tree of life. The tree of life that was still in the Garden of Eden was the activity of God. It was the place where the presence of God could be contacted. So what's really interesting about that we read that after Cain killed his brother Abel, that he got a word from the Lord, that it says he got it when he was in the presence of God. And a lot of Bible scholars think that that meant that he would get close to the cherubim who were protecting the presence of God in the tree of life, and that in that place he could receive that word from the Lord, because there was no temple or opportunity for a man to hear from God. We also find that in Ezekiel, in his vision, had the visions of the cherubim as well at the throne of God, but it's really different. There were wheels around them, and these cherubim had wheels, they said, were resting on the earth. But then they were also each one of the cherubim had 4 faces. And they had the face of a lion, they had a face of an ox, they had the face of a man, and they had the face of an eagle, each one of them. Someone would say, well, this is a contradiction. No, because what we're finding out that Isaiah in his vision, when he saw it, that there were seraphim over the throne of God. This is another kind of angel. And that these seraphim actually were the ones as well singing, holy, holy, holy. We don't know what the throne of God looks and how the angels surround or how they're active. It seems as though the cherubim in Ezekiel's vision were connected from protecting the throne of God, but to the earth as well with the wheels. The one that John saw had the 4 cherubim, but they were before the throne of God. Isaiah saw that these seraphim, a less powerful being in the order of the angelic, but they were over top of the throne of God. So we're finding out that even in all of this activity that John is seeing, the multitude of the heavenly hosts, and they're constantly praising God, and they're singing, holy, holy, holy. And I love the fact that this is brought to our attention of the last days, because the Bible says that the angels of the Lord, who are they? They are the servants of the believers. Do you know that in the last days, that no matter what we're called to walk through, there are angelic beings from heaven to earth, connecting the will of God and the hearts of those who want to serve the Lord. They are servants to our prayers. They are watching over us. And we can understand in the last days, nothing can come against us unless God is the one who is determining the boundaries of that opposition. So whether we're entering into a time of trouble or in a time of ease, let's count on the Lord. Don't be overwhelmed. The angels are there to protect us.